I used to think the dumbest thing someone could get arrested over was shoplifting gum or forgetting to pay a parking ticket. Turns out I was wrong. Turns out, in Meadowrun Hills, you can get cuffed over a flower pot. Yemi wife, standing on our porch with a watering can, got handcuffed like she was some hardened criminal. All because her hydrangeas were blocking our house number. You can't make this stuff up. Let me back up a sec. I'm Tom Miller. Retired, quiet, used to work government contracts I can't even talk about. Let's just say I know how to spot patterns and read people. We moved to Meadowrun Hills thinking we'd finally get some peace. Just me, my wife Lisa, and her flowers. She loved those hydrangeas like they were family. Every morning, she'd be out there with a cup of coffee in one hand, hose in the other, humming to herself like life was exactly how it was supposed to be. Then one day, this woman Constance Whitaker, president of the HOA, comes stomping up the driveway in a pantsuit like she's leading a federal investigation. Clipboard in hand, voice clipped and cold, pointing at the flowers like they were evidence in a court case. Rule 7.3, she barked. Decorative items obstructing house numbers. You have 48 hours. Lisa just blinked. You can still see the numbers, she said, soft, confused. And she wasn't wrong, you could see our address clear as day from the street. But that wasn't the point, and Constance knew it. She wasn't enforcing a rule, she was flexing. Making sure we knew who ran this place. And I could feel it right then, like a shift in the wind, something wasn't right here. That was the first of 8 violations we got in 5 days. 8. I'm talking about our grass being too tall by half an inch, our car being parked too long in our own driveway, even our bird feeder being labeled a wildlife attractant. It was ridiculous, but it was also calculated. It felt like pressure, like someone turning the screws one click at a time. And Lisa? She stopped humming. Started flinching every time the mailbox opened. I'd find her sitting awake at 2 a.m., scrolling forums about HOA laws, whispering, maybe we should move. That's when I knew we were being targeted. I started watching closer. Took notes. Tracked license plates. Noticed a car circling the block like clockwork every evening. And George, our neighbor who always acted like he just happened to be walking by, started showing up more often. Asking weirdly specific questions. Always right after a violation showed up. He had the smile of a man who thought he was in on something. And he was. I confronted him gently. Hey George, you notice anything off lately? Kinda feels like someone's watching us. His eyes darted, and he laughed too quickly. That kind of laugh you only make when you're caught and scrambling. He knew something. And so did I. I started digging, pulled old HOA newsletters, tracked vendor invoices, cross-checked dates. One company caught my eye, Green Hollow Maintenance. Supposedly landscaping the common areas, paid $15,000 in 1 quarter, but no one in the neighborhood had ever seen them. Ghost company. I used to find stuff like this for a living, and this one was so obvious it was almost insulting. Then the call came from Horizon Realty. We are representing a buyer interested in your home. Cash offer. No inspection. They offered us $60,000 below market. Just like that. That's when it clicked. This whole thing, every violation, every complaint, it was pressure. They were trying to make us miserable, to drive us out, to make us sell low so someone else could flip the property for profit. Our home was just the first domino in some big rezoning play. So I stopped reacting and started playing. I uploaded anonymous questions to the neighborhood forum, stuff like, anyone ever seen Green Hollow's crew? I left copies of the HOA's payment records in the coffee shop, slipped between real estate flyers. Nothing too obvious. Just enough to stir the pot. Constance caught wind of it. Called a community emergency meeting to warn against internal threats. Tried to paint herself as some kind of martyr. Some people bought it. But others started asking quiet questions, especially Karen Patterson, whose nephew worked in zoning. I saw doubt flicker in her eyes, and that was all I needed. Then came Friday. Lisa was doing what she always did, watering her flowers. Sun's just coming up, everything's still and quiet. Then that black SUV pulls up. Tinted windows. No plates. Two big guys in fake-looking uniforms step out, all puffed up and righteous. One of them, Hank, I think, says, "We're here to enforce Rule 12.4. Persistent non-compliance." The other grabs Lisa's arm. Cuffs her. I was already on the porch. "Come." Phone in hand. "Release my wife, or I call the police," I said. And right on cue, a patrol car turned the corner. Officer Cruz, young guy, smart eyes, no nonsense. He gets out, sees Lisa in cuffs, and goes cold. What the hell is going on here? Constance shows up, practically jogging, waving papers like they mean something. "Community enforcement," she says, voice high-pitched now, cracking just a little. Cruz doesn't buy it. "Where's your legal authority for detainment?" he asks. She doesn't have an answer. Of course she doesn't. That's when I hand him the binder. Financial statements. Fake invoices. Footage from an HOA Zoom meeting where she literally rewrote rules mid-sentence, no vote, no warning, just deleted whole sections like she was God. And then George sweaty George walks up with a manila envelope. He can barely look at me. "I'm sorry," he says, "she promised me 15% of the profit if I helped get you out." Emails. Payments. The whole game. Turns out the HOA had already struck a deal with a developer to turn the park 2 lots down into commercial space, and our home was in the way. Cruz looks at the cuffs on Lisa, then back at Constance. "Ma'am," he says, "come but final, you're under arrest. Fraud. Coercion. False imprisonment. The works." You should have seen her face. The way her jaw clenched, the way the clipboard slowly lowered like she was deflating from the inside out. In the end, George got probation. HOA dissolved. New leadership. Transparent elections. Green Hollow. Shut down. Park protected permanently by the city. And us. We stayed. We planted the hydrangeas. Lisa started humming again. I even carved a wooden sign for the yard with our house number, big bold letters, just in case someone forgot what all this started over. Now, I sit on my porch some mornings and wonder how many neighborhoods are like this. How many people get pushed around quietly, thinking they're alone. We didn't ask for a fight. We didn't want trouble. But when they brought it to our door, we didn't back down. So let me ask you, if this happened on your block, what would you have done? Would you have folded to the pressure? Or pushed back? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to know. When does just following the rules stop being about order and start becoming something much uglier?